Peace and blessings, love and light, y'all. It's your girl, Kim Martin Raymond. I know I have been gone for like weeks as far as my wellness journey. I am back. I have traveled several weeks in a row. I had a birthday that happened. I've had a whole lot that has gone on that have made it difficult for me to record this video. But I just want to say that I am back. As you can see, I'm still intact. But it has been a time. Okay, so we're gonna try to cover quite a few things here because I want to make sure that I catch you up to speed on my journey. I am currently at 183 pounds. I have been ping ponging back and forth between 187 pounds and 183 pounds. I know I talked a little bit about water weight gain and how, when you kind of fall off like I did for my birthday. I had a ball for my birthday. So I made sure that I ate everything. I ate all the cake. I did everything that I wanted to do on my birthday. And, where we shouldn't use that as an excuse, we can do gifts and we can do other things besides food. I splurged. And it's okay to splurge every now and then, as long as you get back on program. Okay? And let me tell you how, when I talk about splurge, you can gain anywhere from 9 pounds in just a couple of days or more just from water. And then you have to remember that you have to get back on your plan. And as you get back on your plan, you'll see the weight fall back off. So it's really nothing to worry about if you're willing to stay back on plan and not consistently stay off plan for weeks at a time. Okay, so that's something that I want you to make sure that you're doing, and that you're looking at your plan and seeing if it's continuing to work for you. Is it time to make some pivots? Is it time to do something different from what you were doing? I had a procedure that caused me to have to come off of the program for a little bit because I had to change my diet in order to prepare for the procedure that I had to have done. So, things like that happen. And when they happen, like I said, it's always important to remember to go back on plan. That is your goal, to always go back on plan. When you fall off, then you just have to remember to get back on and continue doing what you were doing. And eventually, your weight loss will go back in the right direction. Okay? One thing that changed during this time that I haven't been with you all is that I have discontinued my use of the Optavia program. As I mentioned when I started this wellness journey, I was not always going to stay on the Optavia plan because it's processed food, and even though it was a means to an end for me to be able to get close to my goal weight, it is also important for me to learn how to eat and how to do things in a manner that was going to be more sustainable for me in the long term. Because, like I said, this is a lifestyle change. It's not just a temporary change, it's a lifestyle change. And I'm not always going to be eating processed food, so it was important for me to remember that I needed to start introducing things back into my diet that were going to be a part of my lifetime plan. Okay? So, about 2 weeks ago, I stopped with the Optavia program and just began eating more sensible meals. And I still continued in my weight loss. I am about 7 pounds from where I need to be to reach my first goal, and then 15 pounds altogether before I reach my goal weight of 168 pounds. I told you in my previous videos that I had some loose skin, so I'll be speaking with someone with regards to removing that skin and what that process is going to look like for me. And so those are some questions that I have to ask, and some who may experience significant weight loss may have to contend with as well. What is the process? What needs to be done? I was starting to have a little bit more pain because the excess skin was pulling on my spinal stenosis and the pinched nerve in my back. And so I had to speak with my doctor about that and to find out what I can do. So there are going to be several things that are going to come along with your wellness journey that you may have to address with your with your with your medical team. I have a pain doctor for my spinal stenosis. I have a primary care physician that helps me with my diabetes and with other things like that. And it's important to make sure that you tune in to and have candid conversations with your medical team so that they can assist you in the process and find out what things you have to do. You know, as I mentioned in the beginning of my wellness journey, I was one walking on a treadmill for 45 minutes. And then when I was diagnosed with my spinal stenosis, I wasn't able to do that. But I looked at alternatives. So I do a lot of chair exercises. I've increased my weight. So there have been many things that I've had to do to change the scope of my wellness journey. And so you'll find that in your own personal journey that you're going to have to make pivots and you're going to have to make changes because our body is a complex machine, but it has a memory of its own. It remembers when you were bigger. So sometimes if you fall off and you continue to do that, you tend to go back up to the weight that you were and then beyond that. Or sometimes, when you go back on track, your body remembers, oh, we're going back to doing this again, and it begins to fall into place. So these are the kinds of things that you're going to experience on your wellness journey. You're going to experience ups and downs. You're going to experience water retention. You're going to experience, some discomfort at times. You're going to experience, changes in your body, and those are things I'm seeing the most. I see my frame has gotten smaller, but I also see the excess skin that's on my skin. I also see the muscle tone and definition that's coming up as a result of me doing my strength training. So there's a lot that goes on in this journey. But the one thing that you have to remember to do is to be consistent. And that if you fall off track, get back on track and keep going. And know that it was a process. We hear that often. It is a process. We didn't magically become overweight, and we're not going to magically lose all of the weight. No matter what you hear online or in social media, where you can lose this amount of weight in 7 days, 3 days, 24 hours. But find out at what cost? At what cost? Is that just temporary or is it permanent? Most of the time, it's a temporary fix to a permanent problem. So you want to try to put systems in place that are going to be consistent. I can't say that enough. You also want to make sure that you are choosing something that will work for you, not something that you have doubts about that doesn't appeal to you from the beginning because you will not be able to sustain it. So you have to make sure that what you're doing is something that you want to do. It is a mindset, people. It is a mindset. All of those things that you're doing with regards to your wellness journey, whether it be spiritual, whether it be physical, whether it be mental, it has to do with your mindset. So you have to be willing to make the changes necessary or to be in the frame of mind to be open to the things that will and will not work for you. So that way your body has an opportunity to respond. Okay, so like I said, I'm at 183 pounds. I'm at 40.5 inches in my waist and at 40.5 inches in my hips. So they're both the same right now. And I'm seeing, like I said, a lot of changes in my frame. It's becoming more and more noticeable. And so I'm just going to continue to track and to monitor, as I prepare to travel yet again. So this is just a high travel season for me with regards to work, and I'm just making the necessary adaptations so that way I can continue in my journey and be successful. I've got a big trip coming up, a vacation coming up in July, and I want to be ready. I want to be close to my goal weight. And the closer you get to that weight, you know what happens? Your body begins to say, okay, we've been doing this for a while and now I'm tired of doing this. And so that's sometimes when we tend to fall off those last few pounds because your body has gotten so used to doing what you've been doing for so long, and you've gotten tired and don't want to do any more than what you're doing because you feel like you've done enough for all these months. And then you get down to the end, and that's where a lot of people fall off. So this is the point where you really have to, dig your heels in and say, okay, I'm going to take that extra step. Even though I've been doing all this, I'm going to take one more step to get to where I want to be. And then that way you can begin the maintenance process, and because you've arrived to where you need to go. So like I said, there's a lot to this journey, and then we may fall off a little bit, but it's always important that we get back on and that we continue in the process. So that's it for this week. I promise I'm going to try to get back next week. I'm going to be in a whole different time zone, so cross your fingers for me. But I will be back to continue this journey, to bring you some more tips, to talk about some more things that can help you along this journey. As I'm learning, I will continue to bring what I'm learning to you so that we can do this together. And so until I see you the next time, please take care of yourself, stay the course, and I say peace.